How do you know something is a blessing and not a temptation? Well, according to Proverbs 10:22, it says, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." And that is the Revised Standard Version. The NKJV says, "The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." The NIV says, "The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it." The Amplified Version says, "The blessing of the Lord makes truly rich, and he has no sorrow with it. Neither does toiling increase." You say, "Well, Barbara, what does that mean?" When something is from God, it's a smooth process. It's actually going to add value to you. It adds to you. It doesn't take away from you. It's a multiplication, an addition. It's not a subtraction. So when something enters your life and it seems like it's going to cost you, you're like, you know what? I got to do this. I got to do that. That's not from God. That's not from God. It's really a temptation of your faith. Do you have faith that God will provide you with manna? Do you have faith that God can increase your territory? Do you have faith? Because when you have faith that God will do it, it happens. But when you don't have faith that God will do it, you make it happen. You add that push to it. You manipulate. You try to control. You beg. You lie. You steal. You borrow. But when it's God, it makes you rich. Every blessing that God gives you is to enhance your life. It's to make you go to the next level. But when it's a temptation, it decreases from you. You understand that? If you remember the story of Job, Job was tempted. Job was tempted. He lost his sons, his daughters, his wealth, and his life was really in turmoil. But towards the end, because he passed the temptation, it increased. His profits doubled, his territory doubled. So when you are tempted, it is really to see your faith. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, "No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to men. But God is faithful." I added that. It says, "God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your strength. But with the temptation will also provide a way of escape that you may be able to endure it." So when temptation comes, it is your responsibility to figure out, what does God want me to do? What does God want me to do? Because if I act on my own understanding, I'm going to lose. But if I trust God, that God will get me out of temptation, it will be a blessing in the long term. So 1 Corinthians also 10:23 says, "All things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful, but not all things will build up." So when you are tempted, it is to help you develop your faith stronger. So remember this. If I receive something, it's a blessing from God to elevate me, to build me up, or it is a temptation to really test my faith. And once you can discern that, you make decisions easier. If it's a temptation, it's going to be a subtraction. You're going to lose. You might win today, but you're going to lose in the long term. But if it's a blessing from God, it's going to build you up. It's going to take you to the next level. So that's the way I discern when something is from God versus temptation. Thanks for watching. Bye.